this problem gives us a number of different options we have for opening up a certificate of deposit or a CD. And the Wells Fargo website actually only shows APYs. It doesn't actually tell us what the APR slash the nominal annual rate actually is, and we want to be able to recover that. So we want to calculate the nominal annual rate given the APY. Now we know that off to the side here I'll write APY is equal to 1 plus I to the n power minus 1. And now since these are all going to be compounded monthly, we want to modify this formula so that it reads APY equals 1 plus I to the 12th power minus 1. Okay, well, for the 26-month CD, that's offering an APY of 0.40%. So 0.40% would be 0.004. Now, in our TDM solver, we can enter this as the exact percentage, but when we're using mathematics, we never use percentages. We always have to use their decimal equivalents. Okay, so now we don't really know what I is. Now, I, recall, is the periodic interest rate. So we will be able to recover the periodic interest rate, but then we're going to need to basically get it back to the nominal annual. Okay, well, how do we solve this thing? Well, we got to add 1 to both sides, so we get 1.004 equals 1 plus I to the 12th power. Well, I need to get the 12th power out of there, so what I'll do is I'll raise both sides to the 1/12th power, and that's the same thing as taking the 12th root. So the question is, what is 1.004 raised to the 1/12th power? And I get 1.003327. 1.003327. And that's equal to 1 plus I, because now the 12th power raised to the 1/12th power cancels out to 1, and now I just have 1 plus I. So to get I subtract 1. That's pretty easy to do. And so we get I is 0.003327. Now keep in mind that I is the periodic interest rate. Now we don't want the periodic interest rate. This is the monthly rate, but I want the annual. So I need to recover that. Remember, the bank divides our nominal annual rate divided by 12 to get the periodic interest rate. So to get back from the periodic interest rate to the nominal annual, I have to multiply by 12. So recall I equals the nominal annual rate divided by number times compounded. Okay, well, so I know I is 0.003327, and now my nominal annual rate is what I'm trying to recover, so this tells me that I need to multiply by 12. So that means nominal annual rate is equal to 12 times this, so I'll just do subtract 1 here, multiply that by 12, and I get 0.00399. 0.00399, which is equal to 0.399%. Now that's consistent with what we have here, because notice that the nominal annual rate is just a little bit smaller than the APY. So the bank on a stated scale is actually paying you 0.399%, but with compounding it comes out to 0.4%. Same type of thing will apply for 39-month CD. So 39-month CD is just a different rate, that's all. Don't let the 39-month throw you off, because it's still, APY is still what the rate is over the course of 1 year. Okay, so for the 39-month, we see it's 0.9%. So 0.009 is the APY equals 1 plus I to the 12th power minus 1. And now this is going along with the number of times it's compounded in a year. So over a year, if I compound this 12 times, I'm going to get a total of 0.9%. So we add 1, and we take the 1/12th root. So remember, that's just to undo the 12th root, or the 12th power, I raise both sides to the 1/12th, and that leaves me with 1.009 to the 1/12 12th power, and that's 1.00074 747, and that's 1 plus I. So now I just need to subtract 1. Oops, not 2. Subtract 1, and that just gives me the 0.000747 equals I. Now this is again this is the monthly. I need nominal annual. Oops, I need the nominal annual. Sometimes it's pretty hard to write with this thing. So I need the nominal annual rate. So I'm going to multiply this by 12. So the nominal annual rate is equal to 12 times 0.000747. And so I'll just take this number by 12, and I get 0.00896. Now notice again, that's a little bit smaller. That's 0.896%. That's the APR. That's the APY. Notice how close they are together. And they're a little bit farther apart than 0.4 and 0.399. And that's just because the interest rate is getting higher. So the bigger the interest rate you have, the higher the difference between the APR and the APY. And now we're asked to do this for the 58-month CD. So same process. This one is paying 1.4%. So that'll be 0.014 equals 1 plus I to the 12th power minus 1. So add 1 plus I to the 12th. Raise both sides to the 1/12th power. Those cancel, and I get 1.014 raised to the 1/12th power, and I get 1.001159. And that's equal to 1 plus I. So I've got to subtract 1, so that gives me 0.001159 equals I. And I need the nominal annual rate. This is the monthly again. And that's going to be 12 times that. It's just 2 zeros. 1159. And what do I get? I get 0.0139, which is 1.39%. So notice that we're yielding 1.4%, but we're actually only offered 1.39%.